Well, welcome to Leverage Your LinkedIn Network and Get Hired. I'm Lauren Moy, and I'm an Associate Director with Graduate Business Career Relations. So why use LinkedIn? And we're going to be talking about these objectives. So why use LinkedIn? Create a powerful LinkedIn profile and strategies to expand your professional network so you can get hired. And we will review the new features in 2021. So why use LinkedIn? Well, over 722 million members are on LinkedIn, and 92% of Fortune 500 companies use LinkedIn. So you want to use LinkedIn to build a professional online network, and you can use it to build your professional brand, do all kinds of company research, and join professional groups. And by joining those professional groups, you can also turn relationships into opportunities. So if you're not on LinkedIn, you're missing a tremendous opportunity. So how many of you have a powerful LinkedIn profile? It's so important to develop that professional profile on LinkedIn. And you want to reach all-star status. And to do that, you need to have a profile picture. Just by adding that, you're 14 times more likely to be seen on LinkedIn. And you want to make sure you use a professional looking photo. So dress for success. Take a picture. Wear what you would wear if you were going for an interview. Also, you want a powerful headline, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but the headline is the first thing that an employer will see. Also, you want to have a great summary. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Include any work experience you have. Also, could be internship or volunteer experience. Once you add your experience section in, you're 12 times likely to be seen. And add your education, both your graduate and undergraduate education. And then they have a skills section. So you want to add at least 13 skills, or at least 5 skills, so that you'll be 13 times more likely to be seen. But I say add as many skills as possible. And then also what industry you're considering and the location. And then continue to grow your connections. But to reach the all-star status, you want to have at least 50. So creating a headline. Your headline is your value proposition. It's your 5-second bumper sticker. So what can you do for me? It answers that question. You want to include keywords. And so here's an example of this person, Garvin Reed. He's a passionate career coach and community organizer. So he also mentioned he has a focus on using professional development as a tool for success. So he kind of has his title there, but then also what his value proposition is. Here's another one for the accounting majors out there, aspiring auditor. So let's say you're graduating and you could put aspiring in whatever title it is that you're looking for in that next position, and that you're an MBA or MS in and what your major is. And then maybe here he has auditing, tax, and he passed part 1 of the CPA exam. So just really try to think about your value proposition and what some of those key words are. Here's some more examples of headlines. Aspiring financial analyst and MS in finance. And then here we include quantitative analysis, financial modeling using advanced Excel. Here's another example of an MBA in business analytics student. And listing their their value proposition, which is analyzing big data sets to develop insights to drive sales, and then listing some of their skills. Or maybe you're an MBA marketing candidate and you know digital analytics and Google Analytics, and you're able to use social media campaigns to create brand awareness and drive sales. So here's just a few examples of some headlines. So many people just put their title for their headline. So you don't want to do that. You want to go further and incorporate some of these keywords and value proposition that you bring. Also, create a killer summary. So some of you have that summary at the top of your resume. And here you would take that summary and expand upon that. So on your resume, you have very little space to write the summary. But here in LinkedIn, you have a lot of space to write this killer summary. So you never want to leave it blank. You want to load it with as many keywords as possible, because there are recruiters out there doing data mining on these keywords, and you want a recruiter to find you. I know of both students, MBA and MS students, as well as alum, who have powerful LinkedIn profiles, and recruiters found them on LinkedIn. They incorporated a lot of their keywords, whether it was in the headline or in the summary or in the skills section. But here with the summary, you also want to share results, accomplishments, any career highlights you had, awards or passions. And you also may want to include your call to action, which may be you're looking to grow your business, or you are looking for a position in, and you might want to put your job target. So that's just some examples of the call to action. With your experience, you want to highlight recent and relevant experience, and also include bulleted highlights and accomplishments. So pull some of the top highlights and accomplishments from your resume into LinkedIn, and incorporating those keywords related to your job target. Regarding education, so perhaps you received your bachelor's degree more than 20 years ago, you're not going to want to put some graduation dates there, so it's not necessary. But if you're your recent MBA student and your graduation date on your graduate education is recent, you definitely want to include those. Skills and endorsements. So here you want to be a lifetime learner. You want to continue to grow your skill set. So I suggest that you think about your current skill set and the job target that you'd like to get a position in, and do a skills gap analysis and list all your current skills and then the skills of the new position that you want and what's missing. And really go out there and take courses. It's never been easier to gain new skills. Go on LinkedIn Learning. You can use Coursera.com, Udemy. There's so many others too. But here is an example of the skills for Jason Reese, who is a Zarb alumnus. He's a senior director at Global Product Marketing at Group M. So again, there are recruiters out there doing data mining, and this is a great place for you to really ramp up your skills and to be found by recruiters. Now we're going to talk about strategies to expand your professional network and get hired. Okay, so let's say you have 386 first degree connections. That means you know that person directly, right? And they're connected to you on LinkedIn. And just by having that, you will have over 100,000 second degree connections, meaning your second degree connections know your first degree connections. And you will have over 4 million third degree connections. right? So your third degree connections know your second degree connections. Well, that is kind of, really mind blowing when you think about it, how many people you can reach out to on LinkedIn and the exponential power of LinkedIn. So the total users you can contact through an introduction here is 4.5 million, just by having 386 first degree connections. Well, I want to thank you for being on today's webinar, and I want to encourage you to also reach out to me. I'd be willing to connect with you on LinkedIn. I have over 2,000 connections, and many of my connections are Hofstra alumni and employers. And then if you connect with me, then they will become your second degree connections. So you want to continue to expand your network. So with that, connect with friends and family. Although this, of course, is different than Facebook. It's not social, it's more professional network, but there are definitely people in friends and family that you have that you want in your professional network. And then also your professors, colleagues and managers, other professional contacts, Zarb alumni, different clients that you may have been working with. And if you're a first year student, definitely connect with these second year students that are about to graduate. Many of them will land jobs, and maybe they were in internships while they were at Zarb. I know so many students that landed, first year students that landed internships through connections with second year students. You want to research and follow companies who are hiring. And you could use the search function and create a list of, to those companies that are in your areas of interest. And join LinkedIn groups. So you would just click down to where it says groups and then do a group search and then some keywords to find some of the different groups you might be interested in. And I do know people that have joined groups and they spoke to other members or, typed different questions or responses to some of the articles that were posted, or just kind of got involved in some of the discussions and were able to land internships that way. So join these two Zarb groups. One is our group, the Zarb Graduate Business Career Relations at Hofstra University group. And also there's the Hofstra University Frank G. Zarb School of Business Alumni group. So many students that are graduating ask me, how do I continue to find out about the different events that Zarb has or that GBCR holds after I graduated? And the best way is by joining these two groups, because we will continue to post our events. So stay tuned, join these groups, especially for those of you that are graduating, but even first year students, as we post all kinds of articles, as well as positions that are opened up through the recruiters that we have in our network. Use the Hofstra alumni tool. So you would just go into the search bar, type Hofstra University, and then drop down to where it says alumni. So Hofstra has 85,000 alumni, and 56,000 are in the greater New York City area. So the alumni are a tremendous resource for students, many of which are willing to help you. So it's so important when you connect on LinkedIn that you do not use the default LinkedIn message, but that you take the time to write a personalized message. Be specific about how they know you, perhaps where you met, or why you want to connect, and make it personal. So if you want to connect with me, don't send me the default LinkedIn message. I usually don't answer those. So if you want to connect with me, write me a brief message. So here's an example. Hi, John, I hope you're safe and well. I see that you're also a Hofstra alumnus. I have an MS in accounting and auditing experience from EY. I would like to speak with you for 20 minutes to get career advice about what it's like to work at your company. Thanks for considering. And use LinkedIn to create your job search plan. So one of the best things about LinkedIn is not only that it has a lot of jobs to apply for, but that you could look at first or second level connections. And then you can request virtual meetings with those connections so that you can network your way into the company. So many people land jobs, not just by applying online, but the combination of applying online and networking. And by networking, you can have informational meetings or coffee chats with these alum and find out about the pain points in their company and see how you can add value. So if you know what some of the needs are in that company and you get an interview, you can really shine in the interview and tweak your star stories or your interview stories to be someone that they really want to hire. Edit your job preferences to let recruiters know that you're looking. And then also think outside the box. Like think about who's hiring now and what are my transferable skills. So be a little bit flexible. See what some of the needs are out there that employers are looking for and how you might be able to pivot to get a job interview. Practice interviewing skills using the interviewing prep feature under jobs. You also want to be an active user on LinkedIn and you want to share updates regularly. So post relevant and helpful information. Perhaps you saw a great article that you think your network would be interested in. You could share that. Or you could comment on somebody else's article and like it. Perhaps you use LinkedIn Learning and you, at the end of doing a LinkedIn Learning course, you get a certificate. You could share that certificate on LinkedIn. I know I recently completed a course and I got like 40 likes about that. So it just shows that you're a continuous learner and employers love that. Also, you may have attended a recent networking event. So if you did, you could share that event and what you learned from it. I know that we at GBCR, when we have networking events, we send out a post on LinkedIn to thank the alumni or employers that participated. You could share that event if you attended and add a few comments of your own. Perhaps there is a networking event that you're planning to attend. You could also share that with your network. So that's just a few examples. I know some of you will be graduating in a few weeks, and to put a picture of you in your beautiful graduation garb and share a post about that. Some of the new features in 2021 include an expanded profile headline up to 220 characters, so it is expanded, and also a features section that is now included under the summary. That's where you could include links to videos, maybe PowerPoints or Excel files or an article that you've written, any information that you think would be great supporting documents. Also, they added this open to hiring and open to work. So you're going to see a lot of that around the faces of the pictures, and people in your network will post that they're open to, that they're hiring. So I've seen quite a few of those. And then the whole idea about open to work is, let's say you're graduating now and you're open to jobs. It's like a signal to your network that that you're looking, and perhaps then they'll connect you to other people or opportunities. There's this new feature to create polls and events, and also to post reactions. And When you're sending a message in LinkedIn now, there's also an option to use Zoom or to schedule a video meeting right in LinkedIn. So here, LinkedIn is great and everything. It's great regarding developing quick connections, easy first introductions, and it's a strategic research tool. However, it has its limitations. There's no substitution for that face-to-face, and I call it virtual now, for you to develop meaningful relationships. So don't stop at just making that connection on LinkedIn. You definitely want to follow up to get that face-to-face virtual meeting. And that's really where you're going to get to know one another. And that's when you can convince that alumni or employer that you're someone worth connecting with, adding value, and then also how you can offer to help and keep in touch and continue to show that you can add value. It's just a great way for you to get to know one another as well. So balance is key. I also want to say that you want to choose quality over quantity, because there's going to be people that you don't know who are going to reach out to you on LinkedIn wanting to connect with you. And I say you have to really think about, do I want to have this person in my network? Would I want to help them in the future, or would I want their help in the future? Because, you know, networking is all about giving and sharing. So it's give and take. So, you know, don't just let anybody into your network. Quality is key as well as balance. So LinkedIn next steps: create that all-star powerful LinkedIn profile, increase your connections, including Hofstra alumni, and remember to set up those virtual meetings and calls. Grow to 500 over time. Join at least 20 professional groups, and research companies and apply to jobs, and use your LinkedIn to network your way in. Continue to share updates, and also email gbcr@hofstra.edu to make a 30-minute appointment. Even if you want, we can critique your LinkedIn profile with you. So now I'd like to stop the presentation and ask if there are any questions.